Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Slightly Influenced podcast. My name is Austin Miller, and I'm joined with my co-host.
I'm Paul.
That's Paul, right
Hey.
there, local Clippers fan. And we talk about sports, games, culture. Anything you want to hear, we're dishing it out on the record and slightly influenced along the way.
Facts. Speaking of getting slightly influenced, I kind of want to take a shot right now.
You want to take a shot? What do you want to take a
I
shot
know it's
of?
early, but you know what? This little lemon she looks pretty tasty, if I do say so.
Man, I got about halfway through the podcast last time before getting drunk.
Let's do it as soon as possible.
Okay,
Let's
fair
get
enough.
it popping. I'm gonna pour
Fair
you one.
enough.
Well, so the All-Star break was this weekend for NBA. I thought it was pretty dog shit.
Really?
Did you enjoy watching any of that? I didn't like any of that stuff at all.
You didn't like any of that.
No, the dunk contest was all right, but it just fucking nobodies. You know, I don't care about these people.
I would say the 3-point contest was more entertaining than the dunk contest.
I just don't really care, man. To be honest, like,
Okay,
it's
well,
not a good product.
here's what I will say. Delicious. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, here's what I will say. The NBA has the best all-star game, just in general.
They don't.
Who does?
MLB.
Explain yourself.
It's the most. It's the most like a game. Like the NBA, it's the worst game of basketball they play every year. It's not entertaining. It's hard to watch. No defense at all. Just they're trying to put on a show, I guess, but it's not entertaining to me. The MLB one's the most like a real game. They're actually trying. There's a lot of pitching changes, which isn't like a real game, obviously. But it used to be, they used to play for home field advantage in the World Series pretty recently, but they changed that.
Did they really?
Yeah. Not anymore.
Okay, here's what I will say. Okay, I will agree with you that the MLB All-Star Game is the most like the real or like a real life game. But I'll argue that that is bad. Here's why. It's an All-Star game. It's a game meant to be bigger than the actual game itself. In the NBA, here, let me get to my notes here. They don't even play a normal basketball game. They play winners of quarters, and then they play to a score.
I don't want to watch that. I want to watch the best players in the world play against each other on the same court. I don't care about this whole spectacle they're putting on about. I want it to be a real game. That's what I want.
Well, what I'll say is in the NBA, right? Every player is a two-way player. You play offense and defense. And this is what makes it different than the Pro Bowl is because if you're a defensive player that makes the Pro Bowl, right? You have to kind of try hard because it's like, what else are you doing out there as a defensive NFL player?
You think so, but they don't. They don't.
They don't. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't either, right?
Yeah.
But as an NBA player, you get to watch the 24 best players in the world with a basketball in their hand do the craziest things unintruded. Like they get to do double alley oops and they're ooping to themselves. You're seeing shit that only you see on like basketball courts.
It's not impressive to me. There's no effort. They're not going full speed. They're going probably a fifth of the speed they would normally go in a real game.
And to me, it's more entertaining. I mean, they're launching up half-court shots. They're doing the coolest dunks. They're doing dunks cooler than the actual dunk contest in the All-Star game.
It's not basketball.
Okay. Well, I see, and I mentioned the dunk contest, and my whole thing is the dunk contest, in my opinion, is if you go into First Take right now, you'll hear Stephen A. Smith talking about how LeBron James killed the dunk contest.
He's right, yeah.
And how the All-Star game is trash. Well, I got news for you, Stephen A. Smith. The dunk contest has never been all that.
It has.
Ooh, that's a hot take right there, brother.
No.
Let me read you the list of winners from 1991 to 2001. Okay, so a 10-year span in the prime of the dunk contest. Okay, 90s basketball. Okay, D. Brown. You know what team he played for?
I don't.
Sure don't. What about Cedric Ceballos? You know what team he played for?
Does he have a son in the NBA?
You might have got that one right. Harold Miner.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is he a minor?
What about Isaiah Ryder?
Yeah.
They rhyme. You didn't even know about it, huh? What about Harold Miner again? 2-time.
Not back to back, almost back to back.
Yeah, he took a year off there. I'm sure he
be,
probably had a knee problem or something. Brent Barry. We've all heard of old Brent.
I've not.
Hall of Famer.
Is he actually? No, he's not.
He used to talk for ESPN or the NBA team. Whole point
there's
is...
two. No, I want you to keep going. There's 2 on there that you didn't mention, motherfucker. I know the 2 you're trying to avoid there.
Who am I avoiding?
2 of the best. They're Hall of Famers. Some of the best guards/forwards you could ever see in the game of basketball.
So in 1997, Kobe Bryant won the slam dunk competition.
Right.
In 2000, Vince Carter won the slam dunk competition.
Hall of Fame players. We don't see Hall of Fame players partake in any of these events.
Okay.
I guess 3-point.
In 1997, Kobe Bryant was a teenager. Mm-hmm. That's my point. He didn't do it for the rest of his career.
Right.
So yeah, what happens is about 10 years go by and the next teenage phenom comes out and does the slam dunk competition and wins it and never does it again. That's just the current trend that we're on. It's not dead.
That would be like Ja partaking in it his first 2 years of the NBA, but he didn't. He should have, but he didn't.
And see, here's what makes it tough is on this point, I'll agree with Stephen A little bit. LeBron was the first teenage phenom to come out and not do.
I get it.
I get it too.
If I had a 82 game season and I get a week off break, if I wanted to, I would take it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go do some extra work for no reason for what, to win a slam dunk contest. That doesn't help your resume at all as a NBA player, I think, unless you're a nobody, obviously. So
unless you're Mac McClung.
I get it, but
yeah. Well, here's what I will say: is there was the dunk contest for a long time, and then they added the 3-point line, and they added the 3-point shooting contest. So it came afterwards, right? And for the longest time, the dunk contest was more prestigious than the 3-point shooting contest. And now I feel like that has flipped. If you win the 3-point shooting contest, that's more prestigious than winning the dunk contest.
I feel like nobody watches the 3-point contest, though.
But people still, like Curry's in it, and Damian Lillard's in it, and Curry wasn't in it this year, but Damian Lillard won it this year, and I would say he's one of the best 3-point shooters.
I don't think it's watched though. I don't think people actually watch that. The dunk contest is the one they go for. That's the most viewership, I feel like, by far.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
They do end the night with that,
and they're ruining it. It's gonna get bad really quick if they don't fix some shit. And you know what? I'd say the MLB home run derby is getting pretty close to surpassing the dunk contest, I'd say.
As the most entertaining skills thing to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
I might have to agree with
you.
But I did have a wild idea. I was just brainstorming ideas on how to fix the dunk contest.
I got a few as well. Yeah.
So I was doing some research, and in 2002, and we can put a little something up on the screen here for TikTok, they implemented a dunk wheel where you spin the wheel and it tells you what type of dunk to do, and you try and do like the coolest version of that dunk. And I think that would add some like cool, like back and forth. Like, I don't think it should be a creative competition because we've pretty much seen every dunk that can be done.
That's a thing.
It should be like, who can do the best version of X dunk? Yeah. You know what I mean?
That'd
and just compare them against one another.
Yeah. They used to do a team thing. Mm-hmm. I remember John Wall and Paul George were in that, and that was just really bad. That was probably the worst one ever.
It was like a freestyle of it.
It was bad.
Yeah.
I think a way to fix the entire All-Star weekend, just add a 1v1 tournament. I want to see them run the ones, go one-on-ones, the entire thing. Like put 30 players. I don't even want the stars. I want like the CJ McCollums. I want the Jordan Pooles. I want the bucket getters. You know what I'm talking about? I want to see them run ones for sure.
Well, I think if anything should be replaced, it's the skills competition.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, replace that with the one-on-one. Revamp the dunk. Listen, I don't have all the answers, Sway. Okay, I don't know how to solve global warming. I don't know what to do about the frickin' gas prices going up. You know what I mean? And I don't know how to fix the dunk contest, but I know that there is a way to get a better product out there.
I don't think the NBA would ever allow that one-on-one tournament to happen though, because they would have to show effort in that, right? It's like your pride on the line. It's you versus one guy. Mm-hmm. And then when contracts come around the off season, it's going to change a lot of contract talk because you could say, oh, well, I beat this guy and he's getting $30 million a year. Why am I not getting $30 million a year? You know what I mean? So it's going to cause some problems there. So I don't think they'll ever do it because of that.
I'll agree with you there. It's because it would bring shame to people.
Yeah. Which
that's
is
what
what
they're
you want
trying to
competitiveness though.
Yeah.
Like it's more entertaining that way.
Well, they changed the picking system this year so that nobody was picked last. Okay, this
Stupid.
This is
Yeah,
great right
it's
here.
stupid.
You ready for this one? I'm gonna make a point real quick. You ready? Nikola Jokic is gonna be the first 3-time in a row, 1, 2, 3 MVP in the NBA
Stat pattern.
since Larry Bird in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Okay.
His stats are empty. He's never performed in the playoffs. He probably never will, and some big roster changes happened to that Denver Nuggets team. Fucking 4 years ago, we had a 6'3" point guard putting up the exact same per game numbers. I'm not impressed by this at all. At all.
And he's going to win 3 MVPs in a row. And here's the funniest part. He was almost picked dead last between all the starters.
You know what else is funny? He's going to get
All-Star
bounced first or second round in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
And this leads me to the conclusion that you must draw. The NBA is racist. They're going to give a white guy 3 MVP trophies in a row. And who was the last guy to win 3 MVP trophies in a row? Say it for me, Paul. Larry Bird, the last great white player in the NBA.
No, I see what you're talking about.
That's slightly racist.
I see a lot of Luka talk, and he doesn't get as much slander as he should. He's really just James Harden 2.0 from probably 3 or 4 years ago.
2.0.
And he doesn't get any of the slander that he got.
Nope.
The free throw merchant, I hear none of that. It's the same shit.
They're about to get... You're telling me between Larry Bird and Nikola Jokic, there's been nobody that deserves 3 MVPs in a row? I mean, we're talking Magic, Isaiah Thomas, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant,
He won 1.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
You're telling me that none of those players deserve 3 MVPs in a row?
The Kobe one, you know who stole one of his MVPs?
That's racist.
Tell me who stole one of his MVPs.
Stole 2 of his MVPs.
Right, yeah.
Steve Nash.
Yeah.
You're telling me Steve Nash in 2004 deserved MVPs over Shaq and Kobe?
Tough.
It's kind of suspect.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I see what you mean. It's a good point.
Because who actually votes on the MVP? It's sports reporters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Most of them who have never played ball before.
They're about to give Nikola Jokic the last pick. All of the All-Stars were picked. And I don't think they wanted Nikola. Oh, well, you know what? His game doesn't really fit the All-Star game. You're just saying he's not as good as the rest of the people.
Yeah. He's a stat pattern. It's very obvious.
He's a 7-foot chubby Russell Westbrook.
Pretty big in the belly, I'd say. I need a drink.
So we were talking about earlier the different All-Star games, but I want to move into like a more like general broad discussion about which league is actually the best when it comes to putting like the best product on the field. And I'm going to make the argument that the NBA is actually the best, like they're the best to like change with the times. You know what I mean?
I think if we're talking regular season basketball, it's the worst.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you figure that?
We've gotten to a point where these analytics nerds have kind of shifted the way basketball's played. Everybody's worried about all this different shit. The difference between regular season basketball and playoff basketball is like 2 different games. It's like 2 different sports.
Well, you could say that
like,
about any sport.
NBA is a huge gap. It's completely different. You can look all day about these regular season stats and try to predict an NBA Finals off of that. You'd be wrong 99% of the time. Right.
Okay.
The eye test now in today's NBA has mattered more than ever because you can't look at stats anymore in regular season. They don't matter. They're all empty. You have fucking Donovan Mitchell putting up like 70-point games against like scrubs. Not scrubs, but like there's no defense being played. These stats don't matter. They're all empty until you get to playoffs.
But I will say the product that they put onto tape has increasingly become more and more fun to watch over the years in comparison to other sports.
How many NBA games have you watched this season? Sat down
Several.
More than you used to?
I'd say about the equal amount. I'm a huge NBA fan. LeBron, I'm always watching you. I'm always Laker Nation out there. You know what I mean?
I've watched less and less as the years go by.
I guess my whole point is that, let me read you some stats real quick. In 1988, the MLB changed a rule, okay? It was catchers must wear helmets, okay? The next rule change was in 2008. Think about how nutty that is.
Okay.
The NBA has changed so many different things as the years go along. And I want to make this point right here. You ready? The NBA, every single rule change that they make is to make the game more entertaining. The NFL will make rule changes to make the game safer. The MLB will make rule changes to make the game end faster because people don't want to watch a 4-hour baseball game,
that's correct.
right?
Yeah.
But the NBA makes rules to make games more fun to watch. Here's the best example: the 24 shot clock, 24 seconds.
It does make it better, but like, it's hard to watch because it's all empty stat. It's not the same thing as playoffs. For football, for example, every Sunday you're watching football every week. You know, I can't say that about NBA. I don't give a fuck. It's not the same thing as playoffs. It's completely different.
You could make the argument that as the years have gone along, pure traditional football has gotten to be a worse product.
Sure, but it's still better to watch than regular season NBA is.
See, I'll agree with you there.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to get across is that the NBA is heading in an upward direction, and the other leagues are heading, maybe the MLB is a little bit different. I mean, really, they're not making the game more entertaining. They're just making them shorter. You know what I mean?
They're fixing a lot of problems. MLB was really broken for a while, and they still are. Did you hear last season how they came out and they admitted openly that they're using juice balls for like primetime games?
Do you realize
that came out? It's a real thing.
Do you realize how crazy it is to go from 1988 to 2008 without a single... Do you know how much shit changed in the world from 1988 to 2008, and they didn't have one rule change in all of baseball?
It's America's game, baby.
They're lucky they're still holding on.
Man. But that juice ball thing is scary, bro. It's like it was proven to be a real thing, and like nobody fucking cares. Imagine that in any other sport where they come out...
steroids?
No, like the juiced balls. Like the balls themselves were juiced for primetime games. So you have more home runs for like the primetime games, more entertaining.
Like if something's on like at 9 o'clock at night.
Imagine any other sport. Imagine like, oh, well, this game Steph Curry's playing. We're going to make the balls magnetic towards the rim so they go in more. Like
the MLB had like a juice ball guy. He's like, hey, I'm Tony, and I got all the juice balls that you need.
You can't get away with the MLB because once you hit a home run, that's like somebody's ball now.
Right, he's like shaking it.
Yeah.
Why are there parts in here? I can hear something shaking around in here.
Yeah. It's a real thing. It's fucking crazy. Nobody cares.
Well, here's what I say, Paul. Make all the fucking balls juice.
Yeah. Be consistent, you know, like...
I want to see people smack them out of the park. You know what I mean? I want to see people get them up out of there.
Oh, yeah.
You know what the worst trend in baseball is? Is that strikeouts are going up.
I mean, it depends.
Like ERAs are going up.
If you like pitching, it's not bad.
How much money would you pay to watch a dude throw a ball to a catcher? Like, just play catch back and forth.
Have you seen, like, Nolan Ryan highlights? Dude was a beast. What are you talking about?
You're trying to... You know what would make a pitcher's duel great? You get out of the stadium in, like, an hour and a half. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool. Like,
did you know that Nolan Ryan actually had, like, the fastest, like, average pitch speed of any pitcher?
Average pitch speed?
Mm-hmm.
I'll believe that.
He has, like, more records than any other pitcher of all time.
Because he played for a fucking, like, 24 years, dude. Like, he played for a while.
Well, speaking of, like players with insane stats, we can transition to the... we can transition right over to Russell Westbrook, the ultimate stat patter, joining the Los Angeles Clippers. Paul is the biggest Clippers fan in the nation. Tell these people, Paul, what you think of Russell Westbrook joining the Clippers.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You know, I'm not a fan of Russell Westbrook. I don't think he's a good player. Maybe before, maybe like 8 years ago, you know. Mm-hmm. But for the Clippers right now, we're at a point where I was worried about the team blowing up, like them trading everybody. Probably not this season, but in the offseason. They're getting pretty close to that make or break point.
Probably need to.
Yeah. It's become pretty apparent that's just not going to happen, mostly because availability issues. I'm looking at you, Kawhi Leonard, motherfucker. Just play basketball, you know?
Need to ditch him.
The good thing about Russell Westbrook, I say, is his availability to counteract Kawhi Leonard. He always plays no matter what.
That's fair.
And he's a tough dude mentality wise. He gets shit on more than anybody does, probably ever in the NBA. I'd say,
especially since joining the Lakers.
Yeah,
people really shit on him,
which says a lot to the Lakers fan base. Yeah. But
you got to perform.
You do.
You know.
But he gets a lot of shit, and he still comes out and plays every night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the Clippers, what do you have to lose at this point?
Well, let me ask you a question, Paul. As a Clippers fan, is he the starting point guard? Is he in the starting lineup?
He's going to have to be. We don't have a point guard on the roster right now. Terrence Mann's been playing point guard.
Yeah. Who
isn't really a point guard, but he's finally getting to that groove where he's starting to be the player where we thought he was in that playoff series a few years ago. When we came back against the Nuggets, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Played a hell of a series. Won us that series by himself, probably, pretty much. And he's finally getting that groove where he's like starting to be that guy, and now he's about to lose a shit ton of minutes because Russell Westbrook is going to be the point guard. Yeah. But like I said earlier, like it's regular season basketball. It doesn't matter until you get to playoffs. So hopefully this translates well to playoffs for Russell Westbrook. I'm not mad at it. It's either make or break right now. This is it. This is the last season, I think. This is it.
With Kawhi and PG together?
The core. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is it.
I will say I like the addition. I really do, because I feel like you kind of need somebody to push it a little bit. Sometimes when I watch the Clippers play, they're real like lackadaisical. Like Kawhi will take it and then he'll just shoot like a mid-range, or PG. There's no like every now and again you'll get like an explosive play from Kawhi, but then he'll run away down the court, So it does add like another like dimension to the team. Now I'm not sure that him being the worst 3-point shooter in all of basketball is a good thing. I'm not sure that him being the leader in turnovers is a great thing. But I will say that he does add an extra dimension. He adds like a fury, I'm getting to the end of the court as quick as possible, turnover or not,
What I like is the fact that PG's best season in the NBA came with Russell Westbrook as his teammate.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
He was third in MVP voting that year. Like, he did a hell of a season.
Also, his best season ended in a first-round playoff exit.
Yeah, it did. It did. But I've watched Paul George dribble the ball off his thighs so many times this season, trying to be like the primary ball handler. He's just not that guy. He's good at a lot of things. Ball handler's not that thing. And I feel like he's almost too good for his own good sometimes, where he tries to do too much, and that happens. But he's a really skilled basketball player. Paul George is.
I'll give him that. I'll absolutely give him that, and I'll agree with you. He doesn't seem like a facilitator.
He's in his own head, man. Like, it's his head game shit where you just can't get over it. Like, I don't know. It's tough.
Unfortunately, I'll announce it now. The Clippers aren't making the finals this year. Poor Clippers.
I put $50 on it.
I will say, and this is just a one-off. We'll split from here, but I think the Lakers are making the playoffs, and I think they're going to be real dangerous. I've been watching them ever since the Russell Westbrook trade went down, and they got D'Angelo Russell, and they got Mo Bamba. They look way better. They look like they're actually playing basketball for once. I think they're going to make the playoffs, and I think that they're going to give a team trouble. I promise you that. They're going to give one team trouble. They might not even win a playoff series, but I swear to God, one team is going to be like, woo, we got to worry about the Lakers this afternoon.
They're going to slide into the fucking play-in tournament and get bounced. Like, that's it.
Was there like 20 games left? LeBron James just broke his pinky and he's got an ankle injury. He's finna go full Mamba. He's about to incorporate into Lakers legend, and he's making playoffs. I'm not sure he's going very far, but he's making playoffs, people. Write it down. Put it in a book. Tell your sports bookie, make some money on this. This is free advice right here.
If you say so, man. You better lose a lot of people some money.
But we were talking earlier about how the MLB hasn't really changed any rules in a long time. And we were talking about how the NBA is like on the forward edge in terms of the major sports leagues in changing the product for the better. I think the XFL is a great case study to look at in terms of how you can improve football as a product.
I like the kick returns.
The kick returns?
I like those a lot. Yeah.
Like how they set up the linemen. Where do they actually set up? Like the 30-yard line?
Yeah,
or
so
something like
they
that?
can't move until the return man actually catches the ball.
Great.
Which helps with the NFL's whole thing about safety issues and all that.
Concussions.
But also, it makes that return game even more entertaining, I think. Special teams kind of like the sleeper play for most
it
games.
makes it more like a punt return than it does like a kickoff.
Which is more entertaining.
Yeah,
I think
way
so.
more entertaining.
Yeah, for sure. There was a point this weekend where Seattle, I think it was Seattle, or what team was AJ McCarron on? He like turned up and won some team the game.
Hey, don't ask me no questions about who's on which XFL team, man.
AJ
I
McCarron.
have no fucking clue.
He like turned into Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter.
Wasn't a team down like 18-3
his.
and they won? Or
It was
something like
fucking
that?
AJ McCarron.
That's great. That's great.
So they drove down the field, they scored a touchdown, and they opted to go for the 3-point conversion.
3-point. Where do they do that from? The 15?
I think it's 15.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Why not give them the option?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I love it.
That completely will change dynamics of football games. But I will say that does undervalue field goals.
Yeah.
At that point in time, you know what I mean?
It's more of a late game situation kind of thing, but
sure.
You're right. So they converted that. They came back, instead of doing an onside kick, they opted to do a 4th and 15 conversion, which isn't the same thing probability-wise. It should be like a 4th and 30, honestly, to be even comparable to an onside kick, because those never convert.
Yeah,
ever.
but the problem with an onside kick is that they never convert.
That's the thing. So it
like
should be,
you want to see the team still have it. If you can't stop a 4th and 15, what are you doing?
But it's not the same thing as an onside kick, so it's not even close. It should
That's
be a 4th and 30 to be comparable to an onside kick, probability-wise.
See, if you were an old man arguing to me why the NFL shouldn't adopt this rule, I could completely understand where you're coming from in this scenario.
I'm saying if you want to be comparable to an onside kick, that's what it is. It's a replacement to an onside kick.
It is a replacement to an onside kick, but it's a better version because it's more viable. Do you see what I'm saying?
It's kind of fucky for the defending team, though. You know, it's kind of like...
You can't stop a team from getting... It's a game of inches, and you can't stop them from getting 15 yards.
You can stop them probably 1 out of 7 times. I mean, I'm sorry. They would get it 1 out of 7 times. The offense would get it 1 out of 7 times. The onside kicks can 1 out of 20. That's what I'm saying.
So every time they line up for the onsides, I as a viewer, go...
But you're watching, though. You're not asleep. You're watching it. If it's the fucking Cowboys, we did this a month ago. What are you talking about? We did this 1 month ago.
I sit there and I go, oh, it went out of bounds. Doesn't count. And then
it's the same thing. It's one play.
I'm heartbroken.
It's one play. It's the same thing.
Listen, all I'm trying to say is the Cowboys need it, man. They need the opportunity to go for 4th and 15. I know Dak can get it.
Oh my God. He's not ever getting it, by the way.
But my whole point is the NFL should at least look into something. I mean, when was the last time that they changed a rule to make it more entertaining? It's when they push the extra point back.
Yeah.
Right? So that if you want to go for 2, you're basically declaring it before you go out there.
I'm for all the more hectic shit to happen.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see a field goal get missed, an extra point get missed because it's 5 extra yards backwards.
I think,
like that.
You know what I think? I think every coach should have a little flag in his pocket, right? And he pulls it out right before the kicker kicks, and he goes, I want him to kick with his non-dominant foot.
You won a game.
Won a game. Wouldn't that be so much more entertaining?
Yeah.
You know, you're holding that all game long, you know? Oh, I don't think he can hit 56. I'm going to hold on to the flag this time. You know what I mean?
I noticed one thing, presentation wise for the XFL.
Okay.
They put the betting lines on
the score
ticker.
Thing. Yeah.
The over under 2 is on there. That's awesome. I love that.
And I'll say this. I mean, they look like they're working on a beer budget. You know what I mean? And their replays are 10 times better than the NFL's replays.
It's well put together.
Replay.
Yeah, it's well put together.
Because you hear the referee being like, I don't see control of possession right here. That's not a catch.
There's been so many fucking NFL games where I just wanted to hear what was going through the ref's mind.
Right?
dude.
Because like if they're explaining it while it's going down, you're like, okay, I can kind of understand.
Yeah, I just want to see their point of view. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all I want to hear. Like,
just put a microphone on them.
yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. That's an easy solution right there.
You know what we got to do?
What's that?
Take a shot.
Oh my God. Okay.
We have to. Our life depends on it.
Man.
You know who else's life is on the line right now?
What do you mean?
Our life is on the line right now. Or
Okay.
if not, we don't take the shot.
Sure.
Adidas.
They
are churning water.
You know what? This is going to make me upset. I'm about to get passionate about this subject.
Go ahead.
No, I want you to introduce it. I want you to tell the people what Adidas is about to do.
Okay. So Adidas, a few weeks ago, they released their annual reports. They came out and said, hey, we're projected to lose $1.3 billion in revenue this year.
Sounds like Twitter.
This year, right?
Woo.
I get it. It's comparable to the previous year when they were selling Yeezys.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously going to be less. I get that.
What are you selling nowadays, you know? I
I
don't even feel like you can find Ultra Boost anymore.
So the people who don't know, Kanye West has gone from Adidas. They gave him the boot for the anti-Semitic remarks he gave.
Rightfully so, I should
But
add.
I thought the plan was that they were just going to sell the shoes they had in inventory just under a different name. Like, not Yeezy. There's going to be like their own...
Jeezy.
Whatever the fuck, you know? But they came out this week and they had a direct quote. They said, here's a direct quote from Adidas.
Ooh, direct quote coming from the man himself.
Should the company decide to not repurpose any of the existing Yeezy product, this would result in a write-off of the existing inventory.
They're just going to throw it
So
away?
they're either going to repurpose,
What does that mean, repurpose?
like tear them apart and use them for other shoes, the materials,
Oh, so they're not going to sell them anymore?
or just write them off completely. Like burn them.
Well, I could see
like-
you not being able to sell them anymore because wouldn't Kanye have some sort of like legal like
I don't think so.
connection to the shoes?
I think so. I think Adidas owns all of it. Yeah.
So are they looking to bring him back or are they just looking to throw it away?
So the rumor that came out this week was that they're looking to form a new deal with him. I don't know what that would look like logistically.
Would you think they'd pay him more or less?
Less.
'Cause
I
you can't-
think,
you can't
right?
be
Like-
anti-Semitic.
Yeah. I mean, but that makes you look weak as a company to even consider that though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I would not consider that in the slightest.
yeah.
Go talk to Skechers,
But-
bitch ass.
The thing about like a tax write-off, Adidas is like this company that claims to be this self-sufficient, environmentally aware.
Right. Reuse and recycle
Yeah. So
plastics
if
in
you
our shoes.
if you like burn like $500 million worth of product,
What about the Jewish people out there? No one's thinking about them. Nobody's thinking about how it makes them feel to wear an anti-Semitic shoe. Huh?
I don't know, man. I don't see it happening.
You don't see Adidas re-signing Kanye?
No.
I don't
Yeah.
think they should.
But if they need to figure some shit out as a brand going forward, because this is going to keep going downhill more and more and more unless they find some other guy to make some sneakers
That's
or
all
just
you
make
gotta
their
do.
own shit, because they're not going anywhere right now. They're not competing with Nike, and they did for the past few years because of one man only, and now he's gone. So I don't know what you do now as a brand.
You know, Paul, what I honestly think is like, yeah, they've been riding his coattails for the past, several years, but you could just replace Kanye with any other influencer.
They tried. They signed Beyonce, dude. Who's like the biggest fucking artist in the world, and it still didn't go anywhere. The Ivy Park shit's not selling. It's sitting. They tried Childish Gambino too. It's not selling. It's sitting.
I don't, dude. It's not as you can find any dude making any unique shoe.
Who is Sean Witherspoon, bro, with the Nike shoe? They got it. He's at Adidas now. He's at Adidas. It's not selling. It's just not. I don't know what it is about Kanye, but he's like the most influential man ever, bro.
It's because they gave him complete creative control, and if
Right.
they do that for another artist,
I don't think so.
you can pop off just as well.
I don't think so.
I think so, absolutely.
think
You know
so.
why? It's because he's not marketable anymore.
But he's the biggest trendsetter we've ever had, regardless of fashion.
Paul,
musically.
He is anti-Semitic,
I don't,
brother.
I'm not
you
talking
can't
about
sell those
that.
shoes
I'm not
anymore.
I'm just saying. I get you have to move on from him, but like, where do you go to now? I don't know what you do. Like, it's just like kind of a dead end.
Just wait a couple of years. Just like, the next guy.
There is no next guy, dude.
There always is a next guy. There always is.
Before Kanye, Adidas was probably in the same situation where they're at now, dude. Like, what are they as a
the same
brand?
shit about Nike and Michael Jordan.
That's
but you know who they
different.
found? LeBron James.
It's
LeBron James.
It's an athlete, dude. It's not the same thing.
It's the same exact shit.
You're talking about a basketball.
He's a rapper. He's a rapper. You can just find another rapper. You don't think Travis Scott, Adidas would sell out?
That's what I'm saying.
You're full of shit, brother.
They have a basketball like flagship program, and then they have like a lifestyle flagship program. It's two separate things. It's not the same product at all. You're not wearing basketball shoes on the streets.
Do the Nike Travis Scott sell out every time?
Yes.
Every time?
Yes.
Okay.
And they struck gold with that.
You don't think if they give Travis a huge check, the Adidas Travis Scotts would sell out every time?
But where do you go? Because the Travis Scotts are just repurposed old models of Nike shoes. These Adidas Yeezy shoes are brand new shoes that he made.
You don't think if you give Drake uncreative control or creative control of a shoe,
Nike
it would
did
be
that.
the most popular shoe of all time?
Nike did that right now, and they're sitting. They're still sitting.
What shoe?
The Nocta ones. Exactly. What shoe? Exactly.
That's an old shoe.
They're still sitting. They're sitting. Nobody wants them.
That's not a fresh Drake redesign of a shoe.
It's a brand new 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 shoe.
You can look it up.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you know what? But the thing is I bet they didn't give him complete creative control. Like they didn't say you could. Like I bet they had to say like, oh, it's got to be like this type of like midsole. Like it's got to be this type of material. You know what I mean? I feel like Adidas really gives Kanye like whatever he used to give him whatever he wants in terms, like he's making fucking shoes with like fingers on them.
You don't think Adidas gave that to Beyonce?
No, I think they said, take this sweatshirt and design it.
I think Beyonce's got a lot more pull than you think she does.
Okay, then why did it look like a normal Adidas sweatshirt?
That's what she wants, what she likes, probably.
Is a normal Adidas sweatshirt
Probably.
that sits on shelves?
Probably, yeah.
The real thing is that some of these people got to stop thinking that they know best.
Who?
The people in charge of these like clothing brands. You know what I mean? All you know is how to make a profit. You don't know how to make the next thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's not impossible to do both. You know what I'm saying?
I'll agree with you there,
Yeah.
but I think it's really hard to. You need a visionary.
That's what I'm saying. That's what Kanye is.
I get that's what.
And it's like 1 in a million, dude. You're not gonna find another dude off the street who can do that.
Kanye hates Jewish people. You can't keep selling his shoes, brother.
That's what I'm saying. I know you. It's done. It's over.
Right,
And he shouldn't bring him back.
There will be another visionary. Hey, guess what?
Not for
Steve
a
Jobs
while.
died. Elon Musk came along. I'm not saying I
the
like
same
Elon
thing.
Musk, but he's another visionary, dude.
It's not the same thing.
It's the exact same
No, it's
thing.
not. No,
Before Kanye, there was Aristotle.
How big of a gap is that? You're proving my point.
I guess my whole point is everything is cyclical. It will repeat again. You'll find another
Eventually.
clothing genius.
Yeah, eventually, but it's gonna
You
take a
know.
long ass time for that to happen.
Well, you know what took a long ass time to happen? The Texas A&M basketball team to be good. That took a long ass time to happen. But before we roll right into that subject, I think we should enter in with a shot.
Let's take the shot.
Ugh. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, that is delicious.
He's lying to you.
Paul, I know you got some thoughts about the Texas A&M men's basketball team. I'm not sure many other people in the country do. Go ahead and let me know what you think.
Texas A&M men's basketball, probably the best season they've had in years. SEC is tough this year. I don't know if you've been watching college basketball or not. SEC is really tough. Bama and Tennessee were both ranked top 5 at one point, probably a few weeks ago. Tennessee kind of fell off to 11, but Bama's still at 3. Off topic, but what the fuck? Imagine going to Alabama where you have a top 5 football and basketball program in the same year.
That'd be
Just
pretty
not
nutty.
fair.
That'd be pretty nutty. It's like UConn that one year.
Yeah. Yeah.
where the men's and the women's won.
Well,
That was pretty neat.
yeah.
Hey, relax.
I went to the Alabama and Texas A&M football game this year. Made the trip
Was
to
that in Alabama or at
Tuscaloosa. We drove 16 hours to Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Road trip action.
It's a long road trip. Yeah.
You know?
So we lost, close game, still lost, all the less. But as we were walking out the stadium down those long ass stairs from the nosebleeds we were in, I was looking around all these kids, these Alabama kids.
Sure.
You know, and I was thinking,
Children. You describe them
children,
as kids.
yeah, 10-year-olds.
Okay.
Sure. I was thinking, these kids have never felt what I'm feeling right now.
Like the disappointment.
Yeah.
Okay.
The loss, the failure that I feel in my heart, you know? And they probably never will, you know? And I just don't think it's fair that I have to feel like this every year when these kids, for every year of their life, they've never felt that way.
I would disagree with you on this subject. Here's why. They expect to win. So when they don't, it's like, oh my God, that really just happened. But every time I watch an A&M game, I'm like, wow, they won. This is great.
I think you have a lot of different viewpoints about A&M football than most of the A&M fans do. We always have pretty high expectations coming to the season, especially when we're supposed to have
That's
a pretty
y'all's
good team.
problem. Y'all are just unrealistic.
I feel like it's pretty realistic to have those expectations. You come in as ranked like a top 8 team last season.
I mean, you're a Clippers fan. I mean, that should say something about your...
I'm just saying, man, we're due for one eventually. Back to basketball.
Okay.
12-2 in SEC play in the stacked SEC year, like I talked about. 5-0 past 5 games. Tomorrow night, playing Tennessee at home, number 11 ranked Tennessee. You win that game, you're thinking about some realistic Elite 8 hopes, I feel like. The last game of the season is Bama at home as well. So that's going to be the make or break game to decide where this team goes from here in postseason. But just hell of a season so far. So
What is their overall record?
I couldn't find it, but SEC is 12-2.
Here's what I'll say about the Texas A&M basketball team, Paul. I think they're just going to be okay, man. I don't think they're going to set any new barriers. I don't think they're breaking through the glass ceiling that is Texas A&M basketball.
You should want them to be good. You should want high hopes for your alma mater. You should want them to be a good.
If you set goals, Paul, you'll be disappointed when you don't make them. Just never set any goals in life. Just be happy that Texas A&M is 12-2.
You should be happy. You're downplaying them right now. You should be happy that we have a good basketball team.
Look, we can feel a little bit of joy on the inside.
Yes,
but
you're downplaying them.
Your problem, Paul, is that you hop, skip, and a jump. You're taking it as a sign of like, oh my goodness, they're going to be so great in the future.
If you keep having this pessimistic mindset your entire life about Texas A&M sports, that one year it finally does happen. And it's going to come. It's going to come. One of these years it's going to come. You're going to be so mad you weren't supported from the start. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, here's my thing, Paul. I know when it's going to work, okay? I sat down and watched Johnny Manziel, his freshman year.
Johnny Manziel.
His freshman year, set all sorts of records, and I said, this team could win something. And I never said that about any Texas A&M team. Sorry to the track and field. About any Texas A&M team since then, men's basketball and men's football.
Hold on. So
there's other sports at A&M that are pretty good.
So that was it 2019 or 2020? I guess it was 2019 that rolled into COVID. Or it was 2020. It was a COVID
the year
year.
they came in like 6th place.
Yeah, when they showed them, they came in 5th. So
yeah,
they almost
just missed the playoffs.
Yeah, and someone made it over us. It was like Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Or somebody like that.
Well,
but
would we have won that game if we made it, Paul?
I would like to see, you know. Wouldn't you like to see? I'd rather know a definite answer than a what if answer.
Okay, I'll let the audience in on a little secret. I used to work with the team.
Okay.
They're not that good, dude.
Okay, but I want that definite answer, bro. It's college football. Anything happens. Crazier shit's happened. Much crazier shit's happened.
Then, listen, A&M can make the play, especially, is it next year they're moving to the 8-team playoff?
It is next year.
It is next year. Mm-hmm. I could see A&M making that.
Yeah.
They're not winning, man.
It's college football, man. Crazier shit's happened.
Crazier? Well, hold on. No.
Yes, dude.
No.
Yes, like what?
When was the last time a crazy team won college football? 2004 Idaho State,
That never happened.
Boise State.
They never won the national championship.
Yeah, they definitely won.
They won a bowl game.
No, they won in 2004.
Look it up.
The Tostinos Bowl
No.
versus Oklahoma. They
was-
definitely won.
That was a
That
bowl
was a national
game.
championship.
It was a bowl game, bro.
Was that not Kellen Moore?
It was a bowl game. It wasn't a national championship game.
The Tostitos Bowl?
Just a bowl game. That's all it was.
I'm fucked. No way.
It was a bowl game. Yeah.
Who won in 2004 then?
Probably like USC.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Wow. We should have done some research before the start of the podcast, huh? Justin, look it up. Look it up,
it was
Justin.
a bowl
Who
game.
won the 2004?
Dude, Boise State's never won a fucking national championship game. I can tell you that.
Almost right.
Yeah, it's a fucking bowl game.
They beat Oklahoma.
I swear to God, Boise State's never won a national
No.
championship. Where they did the Statue of Liberty.
It was a bowl game. It was a cool bowl game. Yeah.
Ah, dude.
Yeah.
You know what?
Why do you think the Tostinos Bowl is?
It was like an iconic moment in college
It
football.
was.
It
When
was.
They did the Statue of
Yeah,
Liberty and they scored. It's just a bowl. Okay. You know what? We can cut a lot of that shit out, but you know what we're gonna keep? Bowl games in college football are fucking stupid.
It's more football we can watch.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But you don't.
Between who? Maryland and Hawaii?
Do you like
Who
anything?
the fuck wants to watch that?
Do you like anything, bro? You shit on everything. Do you not like more football?
Are you being for real?
It's
Do
more
you wanna
football we can watch. It's
do
more
you
college
want to
football.
watch 500 teams play each other?
That's the best 2 weeks of the year in college
Oh,
football,
you're
dude.
full of
Yes, those are the
shit.
best games.
You
bro.
know what the worst weeks of college football are? Is the first weeks, right? When Alabama plays like Southern Florida
Right.
and Georgia Technical School.
They're cupcake games that they always
Yeah.
have every year. Yeah.
I mean, it's like those teams teaming up against each other at the end of the year. It's like that's what you want to watch.
It's more college football,
and
and,
it means
it's the better
means
teams.
nothing.
It means nothing, but it's more football to watch.
I won the Tostitos Bowl, everyone.
I agree.
I'm gonna get a free bag of chips.
You don't get
Like,
anything
who
out of
gives
it.
a shit?
But I'm talking about for me as an audience member, it's more football for me to watch, and I love that. It's one more week of football is all it is. 2 more weeks, really.
So earlier in the podcast, when you're complaining about the games not meaning anything, now when the games don't mean anything, you like them.
In college football, every game matters.
The bowl game.
Bowl games don't matter, but it's more football for me to watch.
So
Yeah.
that game doesn't matter.
Right, yeah.
But you like it.
Yes, it's more football.
Okay.
Do you want?
We see how Paul lands on this subject.
Would you rather have 2 weeks of no football or 2 weeks with football?
I'd rather just watch a 16-team college.
I agree.
College
I agree,
football
but I'll take
playoffs
football over no football.
And remove all the other bowl games.
No,
Yeah, get rid of them.
no.
Are you watching Maryland versus Central Florida?
I'm watching most of them, if not all.
See, you have a problem.
It's football. You don't like. What do you like, bro? You're shitting all this. Do you like anything?
NBA is great. Lakers games are great.
No, they're bad. They're really bad.
You're not telling me that you're watching every college football game.
Most of them.
You're staying
90%.
up. You're staying up till 1:30 in the
Those are the
morning to
best
watch
ones.
the Hawaii games.
Dude, there's
Hawaii games.
There's nothing better than coming home from the bar at 2 a.m. and there's a fucking Pac-12 football game going on in Hawaii or fucking Washington State somewhere, and it's still on when you get home. That's awesome, dude.
I'll say
It's
this.
awesome.
I'll say this right now. NFL is like 90% better than college football. Put that
No.
in a book.
No, it's much worse.
Absolutely.
It's much
It's a
worse.
better product. It's better football players on the field playing better football
No.
than college players could ever even hope to play.
The NFL pulls all their offensive schemes from where? College football. That's why they hire all these fucking college football coaches come be their OCs and head coaches every fucking year. Because that's who determines their offense that they play that year. It's
Yeah.
college coaches.
Yeah, the new trendy offense in the NFL.
Yes.
But let me tell you something. The most successful people in the NFL don't rely on college people at all. Look at Tom Brady and Bill Belichick with Josh McDaniels. They're not running college offenses. They're running quick passes, screen passes. My whole point is,
Our Super Bowl this year
go ahead.
was the fucking Chiefs and the Eagles. Look at the offense they run. It's all college-based shit we watched 10 years ago in college.
Do you think there's any college quarterback that could do what Patrick Mahomes or
No,
Jalen Hurts
it's
did?
the best players. Obviously, I'm saying they get that from the college game to begin with. That comes from college games.
Okay, but my point is it's a better product on the field
I don't know.
than college.
I don't know.
You just get to see cooler shit. You get to see
No.
OBJ do a
No.
reverse Spider-Man
I don't
catch
think you
on a
watch
on a
college football, bro. I don't think you watch
You're
college
so
football.
full of shit, dude.
No.
There
This
is
shit happens every week in college football.
Okay, so then what happens to 98% of college NFL or
You're
college,
talking about
college
crazy
football
plays
players
happening.
that aren't good enough to make in the NFL?
You're talking about crazy plays happening that happens every week in college football.
You're watching the Boy Scouts. I'm watching the super team.
Right. I don't want to
You know
watch
what I mean?
the fucking stalemate games where you have ties like the Colts and the Texans. I could give a fuck about that when they tie week 2 of the NFL.
I
don't
would
give a
care to
shit.
wager that NFL games are more important than college games. I think college football is a bad product because if you lose 2 games, you're just out of it.
It's a bad take.
That's a great
It's a
take.
bad take.
That's a great
It's a bad take.
Okay. There's how many NCAA teams are there? Like 160, like in Division 1?
130.
130
Yeah.
in Division 1. Only 4 get to make the national
It
championship
should be more.
playoff.
Yeah, I agree. It should be
Next
more.
year, it's going to be 8, right? So if your team loses 2 games at the beginning of the year, your hope for the entire season is already done.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So it is the worst league in terms of competition.
No, it makes it that more competition because you have to
False.
go into every week acting like it's a fucking playoff game. There's no off weeks in college football. You have to win every game.
You know how I know there's no competition in college football? How many years since the playoffs have started has Alabama made it? Like 95% of
Because
the
of
time.
the best. Yeah.
That's my point. There's no competition. You know, at the beginning of the year, Alabama's going to make it. Ohio State or Michigan is going to make it. Another SEC team's probably going to make it, like Georgia. And then they'll probably have a fifth fart team that gets in, like Notre Dame, Cincinnati. Any one of them, Oklahoma, they'll get just annihilated by one of the other teams.
No.
That is what has happened.
No.
Traditionally speaking, Clemson
Every year
makes it.
they have that one game where it's like, oh, they almost fucking lost. Like Bama had that against us this year against A&M where they could have lost, but they didn't. You know, it's every game's that fucking show, dude. It feels like all the big games are.
But that's my point, Paul, is that like if only 5 or 6 teams ever make the college football playoffs, what is the suspense in the season? There isn't any because only 5 or 6 teams are going to make the playoffs. Like
But they
from
have
the
to-
start of the
Right,
season.
but like you said, they have to win every single game to get to that point. So every game is like a playoff game, pretty much.
Okay,
Like,
here's my point. You ready for this one? Before the NFL season started, how many people had Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl? Not many. Not many
More
before
than
the
you
start of the
think,
season.
but yeah.
But there was a lot of Bills.
yeah.
People didn't even expect the Eagles to be that good this year.
I called that a year ago.
I thought you said they were phonies. Anyways, how many people expected Georgia to be in the NCAA playoffs?
Because the best team.
Every single
Yeah,
team.
it's the best team.
Yeah, every single person.
Yeah.
Right? Michigan made the playoffs last year. Whether they do this year, make it again. The only surprise was TCU.
Right. That's cool. Yeah.
Only one of the 4 is cool? That's not good enough.
Bro.
That's not good enough. That's not a good enough product, folks.
What do you want? What would you rather have?
It makes me sick to my stomach that a whole league is being monopolized. Nick Saban owns the orange spaces in the Monopoly
Monopoly?
board. Yeah, absolutely.
So there's 132
Makes me sick.
teams, like you said. Would you want like a Texas State? Would you want like a Boise State in the finals? Like I don't know what you want.
Would I
Like,
want more parity in the league?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're
I
all-
would absolutely want more parity.
You don't
in the
watch
league.
college football.
No,
You're
here's
showing
my,
it. You're
Here's,
proving it. You don't watch college football. You don't watch it.
No.
You don't watch it.
I'm telling you why I don't. It's because it's not a good product.
It's the best product of football we have. It's college football. It is.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know why? You went to Texas State. You don't root for Texas State because you know they're going to be trash every single year. And you know what? It never changes. You know why? Because college football is a broken product.
So if you go to
College football is a broken product.
college, right?
I've been.
Would you want to go to games on Saturdays or just not go to any games?
I mean, I would want to go to games on Saturdays.
Right. So would you rather be like a D1 school where you play the cool teams that you want to watch? Or would you rather be like a D2 school where you don't play anybody you don't give a fuck about? You want to be that D1 team, right? Where you play good teams.
The problem is that there's no parity, brother. That Alabama,
There is.
Alabama is damn near an NFL team, and some of these other schools are damn near high school teams.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem.
But if you're that high school team, don't you want to play these big teams? Don't you want to be that product for your home? Like
you went to Texas State.
Yes.
Do you want to watch them lose to A&M 73-4?
I'd rather watch that than us playing
You know how
some
hard it is to
fucking
get
nobody
4
school.
points in a football game?
I'd rather watch that than us playing some nobody school. I don't give a fuck about those nobody schools. I care about A&M because that's cool.
So you just want to watch your favorite team get their ass whipped by an actual D1 school?
Yes. I'd rather watch that on the field.
That's not a good product. What if all the teams in D1 were just like equivalent?
That's not every week.
Skill.
You're not playing that every week, bro.
You know what I mean?
You're not playing that every week. It's like 2 weeks out of the year where you do that.
Okay, you ready for this hot take? NCAA football has super teams and nobody complains about it. Everybody complains about the NBA and all these people assembling these great teams, but in NCAA, that's actually true.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually true. And nobody ever complains about it. Why does Nick Saban have like 15 5-star prospects at the current moment?
Because if you're the best coming out of high school, you want to go there and have like, the best chances to go to the league.
Man, I get
Like,
that.
yeah.
But that's just to make it to what?
The league. Yeah.
The what?
To get paid. Yes.
To get to the
league. To get
the
paid.
professionals.
Right.
The
yeah.
better league.
Yes. Yeah.
The league that matters is what
Doesn't-
you're telling me.
If
one
that's your
that's
point of view,
important.
if that's your point of view, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people who love college football.
I know there's a lot of people that love college football, but man, it's just not as good. It's just not as good as product.
It's more entertaining. Way more entertaining.
Okay.
It is.
That's fair enough. Okay, so you tell me in December how you feel about how entertaining A&M football is.
I'm not talking about one team. I'm talking about the league as a whole. College football, period.
But that's so trash because unless you root for Alabama, unless you root for Clemson,
That's not true.
unless you root for Ohio State or Michigan,
No, it's not true.
you're left out in the cold every single year.
No, it's not true.
And even if you make it, if you're Cincinnati or if you're Notre Dame or if you're one of those other teams, you don't have a goddamn snowball's chance in hell of making it past one of the actual teams because they have accumulated all the talent in college football. How is that a fun product to watch?
Because you get those once-in-a-lifetime teams like a Cincinnati where they have their year of their life where they make it to there. You know what I'm saying?
Once in a lifetime. And you know what
Yes.
happened? They lost.
But they still made it
immediately.
there.
They lost immediately.
They still competed though, bro. Like
You
they
know
still
what
that was a
would make
great
it
game.
special? If Sauce Gardner from Cincinnati got to hold that NCAA trophy above his head and he got to say, "We actually did it." But you know what happened? They got invited and they got shit on immediately. Okay. Imagine if you got invited to a dinner party, Paul, and you got shit on as soon as you got there. You'd be like, "Fuck this dinner party." That's exactly what Cincinnati is thinking about the NCAA playoff.
The fact that they made it there is awesome. One of these years, that one of those teams, those shitty teams, like you said, is gonna fucking win it all, and you're gonna eat your words about this whole thing. It's gonna happen
because it's been
gonna happen.
Alabama, Clemson, Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State 1 year in there. Since the playoffs have started, it's never been an underdog team. It's never been an underdog team since the playoffs have started.
The playoffs give you more games to figure out who is the best. It eliminates those chances.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool. You get to see more games and more entertainment.
But that just means Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, or Georgia win every
if I get
year.
more entertaining games, more entertaining product, like you said, that's cool. I don't care about the end result. I want more entertaining games.
Do you root for one of those 4 teams?
No.
Then
I'll watch them play because it's cool to watch. It's
but
entertaining.
my whole point is when was the last time one of those 4 teams didn't win a national championship? Answer me that, Paul. You can't.
Why is that such a big deal to you? Why is it like...
Because it kills the joy. Why root for your team if they don't even have a chance?
So you rather just
You
be
have a
pessimistic?
0% chance. Yes.
No, bro.
Tell me the last time a team besides those 4 teams won a national
Do
championship.
you like anything? Or you just hate everything?
Yeah, I love the NFL. I love the NBA. MLB's pretty boring, not going to lie.
Pessimistic about your own school, man. For what? Like,
Are you being for real?
Yes.
What is the betting odds on A&M to win anything?
it's your team though. It's like it's
That's
your
how you get
team.
in trouble. That's how you get in trouble, man.
I'm not talking about betting on. I'm talking about just watching. I'm rooting for your home team. It's what it is.
That's how you
Root
get
for
your
home
heart
team.
broken. Have you seen The Notebook?
You're a Cowboys fan. Don't talk to me about heartbreak. Don't talk to me about that.
That's my point. I can't keep.
It's rooting for your home. Like you're a Cowboys fan. It's the same shit as being an A&M fan.
Yeah,
it's the same shit.
I can't add misery on misery. You know what I mean?
It's just
I
the same thing, man. Like, it's just pessimism, bro. Like, Just root for your home team.
So what do you think? You think A&M men's basketball? Do you think they're going to win the March Madness this year?
No.
So what are you excited about?
Dude, like...
So what are you excited about? Is the real question.
Are the Cowboys ever going to win the next 10 years? No. But like,
they're going to win next year.
Shut the fuck up. They're not, dude. They're not.
Dallas Cowboys winning the Super Bowl next year. Dude. We're gonna draft really well. Jerry Jones knows how to draft. The Cowboys to me are like a developmental, like they're always developing into a more mediocre product. You know what I mean? Like they're always slightly getting better. And yeah, they might have some like off years, but that really reminds me of Minecraft. There's definitely been some years in Minecraft where like they've taken some years off. You know what I mean? And there's definitely been some years where they're like, we're in our Duffy this time. And I think this new Minecraft update might be a Duffy year.
I'm really excited about it. It looks really cool. The whole armor trim shit, dude, looks really sexy. Can't wait to make some fucking Iron Man armor in that bitch.
I will say my only complaint is that they added the sniffer instead of the golem.
Can you explain what that whole
what the sniffer does?
Or the whole voting thing to begin with?
So every year, Minecraft votes to add a new like mob to the game.
Okay.
Mob to all the people out there is like just another like
monster animal.
Right.
Thing.
A sheep, a cow, a pig. That's all a mob. Right. So it was between a golem and the sniffer. And the sniffer won like overwhelmingly because it adds new plants to the game.
What is a sniffer? What is that?
It's like a big, and you can put it up on the screen right here. It's a big like turtle looking. It's like 3 times bigger than the next biggest mob. Like it's huge, and it just like digs up plants, and you find it in the like eggs in the ocean. I guess is how you find it. But it's like the plants it adds are not that cool.
Like what? Like
they added new flowers.
Oh.
For the sniffer.
Does it like farm your crops for you or anything? Or what does
nothing,
it do? Like...
Nothing like that. It just unlocks new flowers for you to get.
Oh.
That's all it does, right? And I don't like it, but I will say the cherry blossoms, the armor trims, and the archaeology update with the pottery, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's a good addition. I like how they made the game kind of harder. I think anything that makes Minecraft harder is a good
like
change.
with the netherite.
Yeah, like harder to obtain that. I think that's a good thing because it really is at the end of the day kind of a kid's game. So anything that makes it less feel like that to me makes me feel better about playing that game, spending time on that game. So this is a good addition.
Here's what's crazy to Minecraft to me at least is like when we were little kids, it was a very simple game. Like it was like break blocks, go to sleep. There wasn't even a hunger bar. There wasn't a sprint, you know? And then like now it's the most popular game of all time.
They made it so much easier because back in the day, you just had to know how to craft things. You just had to know the recipe off top. And now it kind of does it for you.
Yeah.
Remember, I had to like memorize how to make like a piston or like how to make all that shit. You know what I mean? Like know how to do it.
There was no recipe books, you know? It was just like, do you know how to make a pickaxe or not?
Yeah. Shotski.
Hey, folks. I want to let y'all know something. This is the 3rd episode. This is the 3rd shot.
Hey. Justin, you want one?
You want one, Justin?
Take it off the bottle. Can we point the camera at this man? Get him the shot here.
Yeah, can we get a camera on Justin on this one?
Just roll over here in your little chair.
Get in frame on this one. Yeah.
Get in here. Yeah.
Get you a rip from the bottle, brother.
Yeah. Put your hat on too.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Get looking right. Yep. Got it. Ash Ketchum.
Hey.
Slightly Influenced podcast, everyone.
Slightly influenced.
Cheers. That's what it's all about, man.
Let me tell you folks at home, this is delicious.
He's lying.
I think Minecraft is a great example of a company actually caring. You know, for once.
Yeah.
You know? When was the last time? You know what? Don't let me get drifted off just like a train in East Palestine, Ohio. Don't let me drift off. Don't let me get off the tracks. Just like a train in East Palestine, Ohio. This is going to be a bonus moment for all you people waiting late in the podcast. This is going to be for all you people that stuck around to watch us take 3 shots. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they let a train crash and burn in East Palestine, Ohio. How ironic that it's named East Palestine and it seems like nobody gives a shit.
I didn't know about it until you told me.
How crazy is that? How crazy is that? I want everyone at home to go home and look at a river, a creek bed in East Palestine, Ohio. It will make your skin crawl. It will make you think, oh my God, global warming is real. It will make you think, my goodness, I can't believe that somebody allowed this to happen, that they burned 30,000 pounds of chloride chemicals into the air. Those aren't clouds, Paul.
What are they?
It's chemicals. I hope everybody hugs their kids tight at home tonight. Anything can happen. Me and Paul live in Austin, Texas. I don't know if you know about this, Paul, but there was street drifters.
What?
2 days ago. Did you hear about this, Justin?
One more time.
Hey, producer over here.
What did you say? Street drifters?
Like Fast and Furious.
Oh.
In the middle of the intersection.
That happens. Yeah.
What do you mean that happened?
That's like a normal thing. People do that.
That's not a normal thing.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. How many times have you come up on an intersection and you've said, oh, they're street racing?
You're not on TikTok. Ladies and gentlemen.
What do you mean?
Austin's
I'm asking you.
It's pretty often on TikTok. You see that. They like close off the whole fucking highway or interstate. They like close it off.
I saw a video of like 1,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were shooting fireworks at cops to back them up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they were just like drifting in the middle of the interstate. What if you're trying to come home from work?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a thing. People
is
do that.
falling
Yeah.
apart,
People do that
man.
shit. Yeah.
We got trains derailing in Ohio. We got fucking street drifters like they're Vin Diesel, Paul Walker in the middle of the street. What's going on, man? I want Joe Biden to go down to East Palestine, Ohio right now. I've seen the mayor. Might I add, have you seen the mayor of East Palestine, Ohio? He is an absolute unit. Like at least 450 pounds. You know what I mean?
You mentioned Joe Biden. Have you seen the AI generated videos? You're not on TikTok. Justin knows what I'm talking about. They do like Minecraft videos where it's
where
like
they like put their voice in.
yeah, it's like voiced over AI. It's like Joe Rogan, and it's like Joe Biden, Trump. Like, Joe, did you steal my diamonds out of my chest?
That's
It's
what
awesome.
the future is.
Dude,
you know?
yeah, it's
That
scary.
is just what the future is.
Who's the first person to get canceled from an AI voice generated?
Kevin Spacey?
Think so? He's already done though. Huh? Me too? Me?
No. The reason he's done is because of AI. It wasn't his fault.
Oh, it was an AI guy who said that in the first
Yeah,
place.
yeah, in the first place.
He didn't touch the kids. The AI did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you ever seen House of Cards?
I have.
Makes total sense. You know, Kevin Spacey's innocent. Let him free.
He's a robot.
You ever seen iRobot
I have. Will Smith.
with Will Smith?
Yeah.
Did you ever want to drive that Audi as a car, like as a kid? You know,
I don't remember the Audi.
it had like the wheels that weren't wheels. You know what I'm talking about? It like kind of levitated a little bit.
Do you do the Framed game? It's like
framed game?
Framed. It's like a website game where it's like Hurdle
Do
or
you play website?
dude,
games?
I get really bored at work sometimes.
What is it? 2004?
It's like a guessing game where it's like they give you a scene of the movie.
Play Flash games at work?
Oh, every day.
What are you going to like?
It's part of my morning routine.
AddictedGames.com?
No,
or
it's like
coolmathgames.com at work.
It's like a whole new wave of like guessing games online. Where it's like an NFL one, where it's like you guess this NFL player, you guess this NBA player.
Like a Wordle.
Yeah, it's like Wordle, but this is a movie one. It's like they show you a movie scene,
Okay.
and you guess it. You get it wrong. They show you a new scene. It's like 6 scenes total. And iRobot was on there, And I didn't know what the fuck it was until the final scene where it showed fucking Will Smith on it. It's been that long since I watched it. I didn't realize.
Do you
that,
remember
like,
seeing one of the robots looking like
I thought it was Blade Runner.
Blade?
I thought it was Blade Runner. I swear to God, I thought it was Blade Runner.
You're so uncultured.
It's been
Paul.
so long. That was like 05. iRobot.
iRobot?
Yeah.
It says I in the title, so I'm thinking 07.
What's 06? Call you in the middle.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll meet you there. You know what I mean?
Look it up, Justin. What year is iRobot?
Yeah.
I bet it's
Fact
06.
check us on this
I bet
one.
it's 06.
You should know iRobot by now, you son of a bitch.
That's the film major right there. 04. What the fuck?
04?
Damn.
iRobot came out in 04? I'll tell you what, man. I was talking to Chat GPT before this podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
That shit's scary.
It's terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying.
Almost throw up right there? What happened?
Hey, I'm slightly influenced, brother. Roll credits on that one, you know?
Let me ask you something, Austin.
Hit me with it, brother.
When is the most scared you've ever felt in your life?
Most scared?
Yeah, in your life ever.
Man, there was one time. Okay. You really want to hear about this?
Let's do it.
Okay. One time, I was in middle school, 8th grade, let's say. Probably.
I know where this is going.
What are you in, like 12 in 8th grade, like 12, 13 or something like that?
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that morning, my mother was curling her hair in the bathroom, and she curled her hair and bent the curling iron into her eyeball and burned her eyeball. And
She the story was going somewhere else. I'm not gonna lie to you.
yeah, just you hold on,
No,
brother.
go ahead,
Just you hold
go
on.
ahead.
And she burned her eyeball. So I wake up in the morning and she's like screaming in
Okay.
pain, you know? And then so my dad is like, oh my God, we got to go to the hospital, you know? But first, we got to drop these kids off at school. You know how it goes. And then so my sister, in her infinite wisdom, locked the bedroom door by accident, right? And her phone is in the bedroom. So my dad literally kicks in the bedroom door,
It's a man.
right? Gets her phone, is like, we're going to school, and then we're dropping your mom off at the hospital. All right. Here's a little bit of backstory, by the way. In 8th grade, I played basketball, right? So you had to stay after class for the basketball practice. You know what I mean? So after the basketball practice, it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And my mom normally picks me up from basketball practice. You know what I mean? But she's got a burned eyeball. She can't do it that afternoon. So in the coach's office, I don't have a cell phone at the time. I'm I'm not.
You didn't have a cell phone in 8th grade?
No,
What the fuck?
no, did not have a cell phone. I'm one of the old school kids, you know? And so I called from the coach's office. I called my dad. I said, hey, you picking me up? And I swear to God, on the phone, he said, I'll be right there. But what he really said was, I'll be there after work. So hang up the phone, go wait outside. Everybody else gets picked up. I mean, goddamn, it's 5:45 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? It's cold as shit outside. I'm pretty sure it's like February. I'm freezing my ass off. And I'm the only kid left outside in middle school waiting for my dad to pick me up. And I thought he said, I'll pick you up right here. Like I'll pick you up right now, right? So I just make the decision, I'm gonna walk home. And then so I start walking home and I realize immediately I made a wrong turn. And I wind up back at the high school. Like I walked for like 2 miles just to wind up back at the middle school I started at.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I break down in tears.
The school's on a highway.
Yep. I walked through Austin's Colony. This is going to be for the people that live in Bryan College Station. I walked through Austin's Colony and then looked at the back of Sam Rayburn and said, fuck, I just walked in a giant circle. Right? So I break down in tears. I knock on a neighbor's, like on a random person's door. I'm like, can you please call my dad? And he pulls up mad as fuck. I mean, think about all the shit that he's already had to do today, you know? And when he pulls up to the middle school, his son is not there waiting for him. You know what I mean? He was mad as shit. And I don't think I've ever been scarier in my entire life.
I think every middle schooler should have a cell phone, man. For
I
reasons
agree
like
with you.
that. Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you, I agree with you, brother.
Because middle schoolers have like initiative to start action, but they're not smart enough to think it all the way through. You know what I mean? So they need a cell phone to call their dad and be like, "Are you coming or not?"
Or text bitches, you know? Did you ever? I guess you didn't text girls.
Not once in 8th grade was I like,
Let me text some bitches.
Dude, that was a whole thing in middle school.
Hey,
You like dated girls, bro.
you lived a different life than me, man. I was sitting there holding my own sack, hoping to get home, and just realizing I just walked in a giant circle.
You could have asked me for a ride. We're on the fucking same team. You could have
What do
asked
you
me
mean
for a
asked
ride.
you for a
I
ride?
would have given you a ride.
It's 8th grade. You can't drive.
My parents. I'm going the same fucking route you're
That's
going.
true. I had no idea, Paul. I just figured, you know what? I'll walk the 11 miles back home. And then I realized that's a giant circle.
It's it's just, life's a journey. You're just along for the ride.
You don't know the absolute fear that enters your heart when you think you're about halfway home and then you see the starting location from which you left. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? I'm never making it back home from here. You know what I mean? Might as well knock on a random person's door. And I'll never forget, the dude was playing RuneScape on his laptop. Dead ass was playing RuneScape on his laptop. It was like, oh, I guess you can use my phone. So, cheers to that random dude in that random neighborhood that got my dad triangulated to my location.
I hope he has 99 wood cutting.
It was definitely a good learning moment in my life.
It's character building.
Yeah, absolutely. But to wrap this thing up, I appreciate every single one of y'all that sat through and watched with us. Go ahead and leave us a comment on how you would improve, or you know what? Give us your favorite dunk contest champion of all time. You feel like that's pretty fair, Paul?
I like that.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good one. So leave us your favorite dunk contest champion of all time. And thank y'all for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank y'all for rocking out with us. Episode 3 out today. Appreciate you guys. Slightly influenced. Check us out.